In today's episode, we're going to take a look at some of the best eShop deals you can pick up right now, all either at an all-time low price or at least matching their previous low. Hey everyone, I'm JP and welcome to the Digital Game Room. Here at the channel we cover Nintendo Switch games and deals every week and we love sharing the savings with the community. If you enjoy the Switch and you like saving money on the eShop, consider hitting that red button down below to join the crew. Speaking of which, to the digital crew here at the channel, welcome back my friends and thanks for rocking out with us again for a few minutes today. Alright folks, and without any further ado, let's jump into the list and try to save some money together. As always, stay safe out there and please enjoy the video. Fables, The Everlasting Sapling is a single-player adventure-style RPG from Danjin Entertainment, and it offers more than 40 hours of main story gameplay with a download size around 370 megabytes. The game follows three heroes as they embark on an epic quest in search of treasure and immortality. There are 7 different chapters that take us across a vast open world, with a combat system that's turn-based and a cooking system that you'll need to master. What's really cool is you also have some unique party-based mechanics and of course plenty of side quests that'll keep you busy beyond the main quest runtime. There are even 10 optional bosses that you can discover and fight as well. If you're interested in Fables, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 50% to a new all-time low of just $12.49. Dead Cells is a single-player action platformer from Motion Twin Studios and has a main story that should last at least 20 hours, maybe double or triple that to finish up, with a download size around 1.5 gigabytes. Now this game is brutally challenging and puts us in control of a failed alchemy experiment, trying to discover the secrets of this seemingly cursed island. The controls are amazing, the combat is tough but fair, and the world is interconnected, giving plenty of reason to explore and find new paths. There are secret areas, hidden passages, and more in this amazing 2D Souls-like platformer. If you haven't played Dead Cells by now, it's the perfect time to jump into the action, as it's on sale until January 20th, marked down 50% and matching a previous low of just $12.49. Next up we have God Eater 3. This is a 3D action adventure title from Bandai Namco and offers more than 40 hours of gameplay on average with a download size around 14 gigabytes. It also has multiplayer action for 2 to 4 players locally and up to 8 players online. In this one we assume the role of a young God Eater trying to survive in a harsh world. You can customize your character, alternate between fighting stances, alternate between different weapon types and much more as you rise above a world of desolation and discover your true destiny. The combat is fast and fun, plus you can play it anywhere solo or with friends. If you're interested in God Eater 3, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 84%, matching a previous low of just $9.59. Huntdown is an action platformer from Coffee Stain Games and is available for 1 to 2 players offline, with the main story that will last roughly 6 to 7 hours to wrap up. The game has a download size around 1.2 gigabytes and it's set in a distant future where crime has filled the streets and gang rule as cops hide in fear. This is absolutely one of my favorite games that I played last year, and in this one you get to hunt down criminals solo or like I said with friends through each of these amazing stages, fully inspired by the 80s. The hand-painted pixel art and hand-drawn animations are absolutely gorgeous to look at on the Switch as well, and this, like I said, is one of our highly recommended games every time you can catch it on sale. There are 3 different playable characters and they all play with unique different play styles, and some of the best voice acting I've heard in any independent game. If you're interested in Huntdown, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 60% to a new all-time low of just $7.99. Next up we have Momodora, Reverie Under the Moonlight. This is a 2D action platformer with a somber atmosphere and compelling lore. We play as a young priestess as she seeks an audience with the queen, the only person that may be able to lift the curse plaguing the land. The game once again features gorgeous pixel art graphics, smooth gameplay and animations, and an amazing soundtrack. You also have the option to customize items to optimize them for maximum damage, which will come in handy when facing off against the epic boss battles. Now this is definitely a tough game, so just be forewarned about that before you make your decision, but if you're interested in this one, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 17th. It's currently marked down 60% to a new all-time low of just $5.99. Northgard is an amazing RTS from Shiro Games and offers 40 plus hours of gameplay, and it even has online for up to 6 people at one time. The game is based on Norse mythology and sees us taking control of one of the last remaining members of one of the 6 clans that you get to choose from at the start. Your entire clan has pretty much been wiped out, so we have to start over with the goal of seeking revenge on the rival clan that attacked us. From there, it plays similar to many other RTS games and sees players rebuilding their village into larger bases and eventually moving forward for the attack. The story is amazing and the multiplayer is top notch, plus right now it's on sale until January 18th, marked down 60%, matching a previous low of just $13.99. Ori and the Blind Forest, the Definitive Edition, is a single-player action platformer with a download size around 3.5 GB and a main story that will last roughly 10 to 12 hours to finish up. Now this game is gorgeous on any system, and that holds true here on the Switch as well. The forest we live in is dying, and it's up to Ori to set out on an adventure to confront the darkness. The movement and controls are perfect, the combat is satisfying, and as impressive as the game looks, it sounds even better. In fact, both games in the series have some of the best music I've ever heard in any video game. If you've still never played either of these, this is the best time to jump into the story as it's on sale until January 17th, marked down 50% to a new all-time low of just $9.99. Please be sure to check this one out. Sword of the Necromancer is a single-player retro RPG from publisher Grimorio of Games with a download size around 1.4 GB, and it has a main story that should take around 8 to 10 hours to finish up. The game also has local co-op for 1 to 2 players, and this is a dungeon crawler with a top-down view and a story revolving around a young heroine trying to restore the power to her magical sword in order to revive the person she loves most. Our journey sees us setting off into dangerous dungeons full of enemies and bosses, and does admittedly have a bit of a Zelda vibe and feeling to it. There is one really unique feature though. Since your sword does have some magical power left, you're able to revive enemies that you've defeated and then have them join your party to fight alongside you. If you're interested in Sword of the Necromancer, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 27th. It's marked down 50% to a new all-time low of just $7.49. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. This is a 2D action platformer from Inti Creates and offers around 10 to 20 hours of main story gameplay. The game has a download size around 110 megabytes, and it really does bring that retro 8-bit feel here to modern gamers. We again have to battle our way through the multi-scenario style story as we form a group of warriors to battle through waves of demons on our way to meet their maker. Curse of the Moon 2 actually added 3 new playable characters, and the best part, you can play with a friend in 2-player local co-op, which is a series first. Now both of these titles are great and worth picking up while on sale, but if you're interested in the second one, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 50% to a new all-time low of just $7.49. The Messenger is a single-player action platformer from Devolver Digital and offers a main story that should last around 10 to 15 hours with a download size just under 2 gigabytes. The game features dynamic acrobatic gameplay and amazingly tight controls. Along the way, you'll find cool upgrades and new abilities to unlock, hidden levels, and a story with branching paths that you can take. Speaking of the story, it's a tale of redemption and survival, and you'll be fighting to save your home village from an invasion. The game does have a unique look as it starts out as 8-bit and then switches over to 16-bit, and this is one of our favorite games on the Switch. If you're interested in The Messenger, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 60%, matching a previous low of just $7.99. Katana ZERO is a single-player action platformer again from Devolver Digital with a main story that will last roughly 6 to 7 hours, and it has a download size around 360 megabytes. In this one, the story is told through these amazing cinematic sequences that weave throughout, culminating in a twist ending. The action is insanely fast, and the game gives you the freedom to tackle each stage in many different ways, but one wrong move or mistimed attack and it's lights out. Luckily though, the game is pretty forgiving in death, and you're right back into the action in just a few seconds. The storyline that weaves between the different action sequences was surprisingly emotional and probably my favorite part of the game. If you're interested in Katana ZERO, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 40% and again matching a previous low of just $8.99. Wargroove is a multiplayer style strategy game from Chucklefish with a download size around 430 megabytes and a main story that could last more than 35 hours to finish up. The game is available for up to 4 players either locally or online, and it has you pick a commander and start building your base. There are more than 10 different starting commanders to pick between, and they even have a campaign editor where you can create your own series of battles, and then you can share them online with others. Plus, you can even play in the gauntlet-style quickfire clash mode where you'll battle up against 5 different opponents back to back. Now, if you do get it, make sure to pick up the Double Trouble pack as it's included free and it adds more commanders, maps, and missions to the original game. If you're interested in Wargroove, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 50%, matching a previous low of just $9.99. Trigger Witch is an action-adventure title from East Asia Soft and offers players roughly 9 to 10 hours of main story gameplay with a download size around 1.1 gigs. It's available for 1 to 2 players in local co-op as well, which is always nice, and the game is shown from a top-down view and tasks players with exploring this open world, searching for stronger items and weapons as you work your way through the story. Now you'll have to fight your way through tough enemies and cleverly crafted environmental puzzles as you work to restore peace within the realm. You know I love a good twin-stick shooter or a good twin-stick action game, so this was a no-brainer for me, plus I love the 2D look as well. If you're a fan of them like us, make sure to check out Trigger Witch. It's on sale until January 17th, marked down 30% and again matching a previous low, this time $10.49. Next we have Fez. This is a single-player platform adventure game from Polytron with a download size around 1.2 gigabytes and a main story that will last roughly 8 to 10 hours to finish up. Now this game is very unique in that the levels rotate and adjust, turning a standard 2D platformer into something more. We play as Gomez, a 2D creature living in a 2D world, and when a third dimension is discovered, we set out on an adventure through space and time to explore this new dimension. The game is shown from a few unique perspectives with amazing graphics and sound, and if you're interested in Fez, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 25%, matching a previous low of just $11.24. CARRION is a single-player 2D action platformer from Devolver Digital with a download size around 600 megabytes and a main story that will last roughly 5 to 6 hours to wrap up. Now this one is classified as a reverse horror game, which just means that basically you play as the bad guy or the monster. In this one you can actually consume your victims to become stronger and mutate into an even more powerful creature. We get to wreak havoc and take out our enemies as we try to escape this isolated prison. The graphics and sound are top notch once again, and this is an amazing game, highly recommended. If you're interested in CARRION, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 40%, matching the previous low of just $11.99. CrossCode is a single-player action RPG from Deck 13 with a download size around 2.8 gigs and a main story that could last more than 50 hours to finish up, making it one of the larger games on the list. The game combines smooth gameplay with a retro look and sound reminiscent of the 16-bit days and has an absolutely amazing combat system. The massive open world has 7 distinct locations and there are hidden secrets to find everywhere. Plus there are more than 30 different boss battles that you can encounter and several different dungeons to dive into and explore. With more than 100 different quests to complete and again the story that should take dozens of hours, this is an amazing value. Right now you can pick it up on sale until January 17th. It's marked down 40% to a new all-time low of just $11.99. Next we have Darksiders, the Warmastered edition. This is a 3D action-adventure game from THQ Nordic and offers more than 20 hours of gameplay. Now the game does have a hefty download size of 13 gigabytes, but if you have the space, this is absolutely a must-buy, in my opinion. This is the start of the amazing story and has us play as the first horseman of the apocalypse. He's been deceived by the forces of evil and has thus caused a lot of chaos to break out into the world. It's our job to undo what's happened and seek out our revenge. Now the entire series is on sale, but if you're new to Darksiders, the game is like a darker version of a Zelda game as far as gameplay mechanics mixed with the original God of War games. Make sure to check out the Warmastered edition while it's on sale until January 17th. It's marked down 60% and matching a previous low of just $11.99. Ion Fury is a single-player, old-school first-person shooter from 1C Entertainment and offers players more than 15 hours of amazing action with a download size around 525 megabytes. Now this is the spiritual successor to games like Duke Nukem 3D or Shadow Warrior, and it sees us blasting our way through tons of enemies in 7 amazing stages. The worlds are beautifully handcrafted and the weapons, as you might expect, range from pistols to rocket launchers and more. You can duck and take cover or just run wild through the levels, which all feature multiple paths and secret areas defined. Plus the soundtrack was amazing and it gets you pumped up as well. If you're a fan of old school shooters, make sure to check out Ion Fury before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 50%, matching a previous low of just $12.49. Next we have the Castlevania Advance Collection. This is a package of 4 enhanced versions of the original classics from the Game Boy Advance days. You'll get the first 3 games in the series for the handheld as well as Dracula X, and once again some artwork and extras added into the mix. The download size for the entire collection is just 675 megabytes and it offers more than 20 hours of combined gameplay. Just like with all of the other bundles from Konami, this is an excellent value and it has all of the quality of life enhancements as well. For newcomers, once again, this is a great way to jump into the games, and for longtime fans, a great way to relive them on a modern console. If you're interested in the Castlevania Advance Collection, make sure to grab it up before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 25%, matching a previous low of just $14.99. Spiritfarer is a simulation-style adventure game from Thunder Lotus Games and offers more than 30 hours of main story gameplay with a download size around 4 GB. Now this is a management game where we play as Stella, a fairy master to the deceased. Players will have to build and upgrade their boat as they explore the world. The characters that you meet along the way, each of them have interesting stories to tell, and you really do start to get close to them before you have to send them off to the afterlife. Players will also have to farm materials and supplies, learn how to craft and cook the items they need to stay alive, and much more. If you're interested in Spiritfarer, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 50%, matching a previous low of just $14.99. Lost in Random is a single-player action-adventure style game from EA with a download size around 4.2 GB and a main story that will last more than 15 hours to wrap up. Now this is a gothic, fairy tale inspired adventure where the roll of the dice determines everyone's fate. We'll have to explore through the 6 different shadowy realms in an attempt to take down the evil queen. The combat is sort of a blend between tactics, deck building, and dice rolling, and it's truly a blast to play through. Once again, the art and animations were unique and top-notch, and if you're interested in Lost in Random, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 33% to a new all-time low of just $19.99. Next we have Eastward. This is a single-player action RPG from Chucklefish Games, and the story centers around John and Sam, and sees us combining their skills to solve puzzles, take out enemies, and progress through the story. We get to explore the world on the cross-country railway system which spans the entire continent, stopping to explore the different towns, campsites, and more along the way. One of my favorite features of the game is when you have to use both characters to solve a puzzle or get past a specific obstacle. You'll be bouncing back and forth, hitting switches or levers, or turning off a steam pipe, for example, something along those lines. This is another one of our favorite games, and if you're interested in Eastward, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on January 17th. It's marked down 10%, matching a previous low of just $22.49. Alright folks, that's going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode. Thank you as always for rocking with us, we truly appreciate it. Either way though, you know we're going to keep trying to bring you the best deals on both channels, so if you had a good time, please consider hitting that red button down below before you head out. And to the digital crew here and the extended family over on the main channel, you all are the best on YouTube, hands down, no question. Alright folks, we're going to go ahead and let you get on back to your day. Thank you again for rocking with us and hanging out with us for a few minutes. We'll let Little Man take us home as always. Stay safe out there. Bye everyone.
That's all for today's list. We hope you liked the video. If you did, consider subscribing and liking down below. Okay, bye!